Hi, welcome. I'm Dr. Michael Furlong, and welcome to our Facebook Live segment, Ask Dr. Furlong. Today we have an exciting guest with us. This is Jared Koenig. He's a professional baseball player. He's from our area. He went to high school in Santa Cruz County. He can tell us a little bit about that. But the reason I wanted to invite a professional baseball player who's had LASIK surgery with me is to talk a little bit about his experience, because we all know LASIK helps us see better throughout our daily lives and makes our lifestyle better. But in some cases, it can make your career pathway a little bit of an easier pathway. And having a testimony of somebody who's actually been through it and talk a little bit about their thought process behind having laser eye surgery and how it might help their pursue their career goals is, I think, something that's really exciting that we should all hear that story about. So, Jared, welcome to Ask Dr. Furlong Facebook Live.
Thank you for having me.
So, Jared was just informing me and reminding me he graduated from high school in 2012 and has a couple of really impressive awards. As a high school pitcher, he got the Santa Cruz County Pitcher of the Year award, so congratulations with that. In 2014, 2 years out of high school, he was drafted actually by the Chicago White Sox. And this year, just finished up a few weeks ago, pitching in the North Bay for the Pacific Association League. They won the championship. He got an award for the most strikeouts during the season, as well as strikeouts during the playoffs for the team called the San Rafael Pacifics. So let's start there, and then we'll work backward to your earlier years.
All right. Yeah, played for San Rafael Pacifics this year. Went into the season having a good mindset, knowing I could see again, so that was helpful. Didn't have to worry about having glasses falling off my face, being on the mound. And I think it kind of just let me just kind of focus on what I was doing instead of having to worry about something or a ball coming back at me and not being able to see it.
So that's a good question that I just thought of, is when you were playing in high school and then even up till now, did you wear contact lenses ever?
I tried contacts when I was younger, and they just hurt my eyes and stuck with glasses. Playing baseball, I didn't wear glasses until I got into college. My freshman year is when I got baseball specific glasses. So I looked at his prescription to refresh my memory, and he mostly had something called astigmatism, but he also had a little bit of nearsightedness. And I can tell you, when I was playing Little League way back in the day, the one reason I stopped playing baseball was the kids got old enough to start throwing the ball too fast for me to pick it up without my glasses. Because I wore glasses from age 6. And once that happened, I quit, because there's no way I could catch up with the ball. And I didn't want to play with glasses. I was afraid I'd get hit in the face. My mother said, no way, you're not wearing contacts until you're 16. So I basically stopped playing baseball, played football and basketball, because the ball was this big as opposed to this big, and it wasn't coming quite so fast. So I was curious about that. So you tried contact lenses, and just for our listeners and viewers, fixing astigmatism with contacts is tricky. It doesn't always work well. And so when you got into first year of college and your vision wasn't good enough at that level, you had to get specific baseball glasses. And we don't see a lot of professional athletes wearing glasses when they play. It's just too inconvenient. Yeah, there's very few, and it was an adjustment, to say the least, and glasses continued to get bigger as they stretched out, and they wouldn't stay on my head anymore, and it became frustrating.
Well, and then when you're sweating and everything, you have to figure out ways to keep them from moving, because they'll slide.
On the lenses too, and always got to wipe them off.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So obviously not the most convenient for you. So take us back to that first year of college. So I have also a note here that you did win the Pitcher of the Year for the Golden State Collegiate Association when you were at Cal State Monterey. Was that like a stepping stone?
So that was the summer season after my year at Cal State Monterey.
Oh, okay.
That was the Golden State Collegiate Baseball League. I played with the San Francisco Seagulls, and I had a pretty solid summer, and was named a perfect game All-American for that, and won Pitcher of the Year.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, thank
Excellent.
you. So that was fun. I enjoyed that, and my experience through college was all positive. But I noticed when I was in college, my reactions were a little slower, because I couldn't quite see as well, even with the glasses.
So I did your surgery in November of 2017. So it's been about 10 months. I got a report from your optometrist about 3 months after your surgery that your vision was 20/15, which for those
tuning in. That's one line smaller than the 20/20 line, which is really, really good vision. So can you talk a little bit about what your vision is like, maybe right after surgery or even today, and how that benefited your playing?
I mean, the day of and the day after, when I was coming out of the grogginess, I was amazed that I could wake up and just see, and it was clear. Even right I think it was 6 or 7 hours after the surgery, I was like, this is amazing. And then progressively, I maintained doing all the stuff to do after the drops and stuff to keep my eyes going and keep them watered, tiered, and all that. And the 3 month span came, and he said, "Here, let's do this," and tried 2015. I think I even got 2 on 2010.
Excellent. Yeah, 2010 is pretty impressive.
So I was blown away and was looking forward to my season without glasses.
And would you say that your vision now is as good as it was with your glasses, or better, or how would you describe it?
I'd probably say it was better than with glasses.
And I think I get that feedback a lot, especially with astigmatism, because it's trickier than not, and we can treat astigmatism even to larger degrees than what you had. And when I talk with patients, and I don't have a ton of professional athletes, but the ones that I've spoken with that are at that level of vision frequently do say that their vision is better than what they were dealing with before, and it actually kind of helped them in their pursuits. You live you're from the Santa Cruz County area, I know.
Yeah.
And we work with your optometrist, Dr. Ben Popilski, who actually had LASIK done years and years ago as well. So I know he's an advocate of it too.
Yes.
He's a great guy, and I'm glad that he was able to see you after your surgery for the few visits that were required.
Yeah. No, it made it easy too, just being able to stay local, and he even gave you a high recommendation. I was like, might as well roll with that, and it's been positive so far.
Did you have much downtime after the surgery before you started practicing and playing?
I had about 2 months. I kind of planned it so I could not worry about getting hit in the face and losing my eyesight or messing up the LASIK. So I had about 2 months before I started actually playing catch, and I was coaching high school baseball
Okay.
a little bit, and then the 3 months came and he said everything's good, so then I just went about doing everything I could to be ready for the season.
And a lot of athletes will do that if they do have an off season. They'll try and plan it just because they want to be extra cautious around that time. Although, you know, you could have tossed the ball the next day, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And that, you know, because of your high level of playing sports, that they, you know, obviously Dr. Popilski wanted you to be, you know, especially cautious just in that early post-operative period. Before we get to questions, I'd like to ask you, now that you've finished with this championship run here with the Pacific Association League, what's next for you?
Looks like I'm gonna sign with the team in Milwaukee or Franklin, and called the Milwaukee Milkmen in the American Association, and so that's going to be a new chapter in my pro career, and I'll be looking forward to that.
Excellent, good, and that means a move, obviously. Is there a season roughly through the summer months, spring and summer? How does that go?
Yeah, so it goes early to mid-May to about I think just after Labor Day in September, or just before Labor Day, so 4th or 5th, somewhere around there, depending on where the schedule ends, and if there's playoffs, then there's playoffs.
Excellent, good. Well, congratulations on the new opportunity.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take some questions. We have, if you are watching this live, you can submit questions, and we'll hopefully get to them before the end of the segment, but let's go ahead and take our first question.
Here's one from Nicole. It says, how does not having to wear glasses affect your daily life when you aren't playing? That's for you, Jared.
It's great. I don't have to worry about anything. I mean, I can see and I can do anything I can when I'm driving. You know, that was the biggest factor at night, was the glare and not being able to read road signs, and now it's so much easier and just absolutely worth it.
So before your LASIK, did you wear glasses only when you played at that last part of your career, or did you wear them a lot of the time?
I wore glasses 90% of the time.
Yeah.
There'd be days where I didn't need to. I could tell they were fine that day.
Yeah.
But once it got towards dusk, nighttime, I was like, I had to throw them on.
Yeah.
And just much more comfortable driving.
So not only in playing, but in your regular life, there was that
Yep.
benefit. Good. Next question.
Another one from Jennifer. What kind of eyewear did you have to wear when you were pitching?
I just wore Oakleys with clear lenses that I got sent in, and got the prescription lenses put. I think they were glued on basically to that, and that's what I wore pitching, and then I wore regular glasses around.
And I think just knowing a little bit about the optics and whatnot is those performance prescription glasses have to be specially made because they don't just have a flat lens, they actually curve.
Mm-hmm.
And the curved lenses are more challenging to make, and they can only make them up to a certain prescription, so you were at least fortunate that your prescription wasn't too high to use something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one from Tommy Rand. Do you play any other sports during your off season?
I really don't. I mean, I'll play basketball around like a pickup game here and there. Maybe go golfing once or twice, but other than that, it's really been baseball or just working.
Can you talk a little bit more about why you chose Furlong Vision Correction?
It came from a high recommendation from Dr. Popilski, and then I came here and had a good experience with the I can't think of
The preoperative measurements,
Yes,
yeah, we did the
that.
initial appointment.
Did that, and it seemed like a good fit, and everything. I saw actually a person I knew that on the wall, and was like, oh, that's good. So I was happy with it, and still fortunate enough that I came and did it and got it done.
And that's one of the things that when I mentioned Dr. Popilski years ago having surgery is it's been around so long now that most eye care professionals know of the benefits, who's a good candidate, whereas 20 years ago, many eye doctors discouraged their patients from pursuing this because it was still a little early and not well established, or they didn't have a relationship with a surgeon that had experience doing these, and so many optometrists said, don't do it yet, and we'll hold off, whereas you came around at a time where we had a lot of experience, and he had already done his surgery. So.
And my dad, he was the one that went through those first beginning ones, and they messed up the first time on one eye, and he had to get it redone.
He had to get it redone.
He still loves it.
Awesome.
And so he was a big advocate for me to get it.
Jared, when did you start wearing glasses?
I believe it was my 7th grade year, and I was there in class, and the fluorescent lights in the classrooms just were so dull, and my eyes couldn't see from afar, so I had to start sitting in the front of class, and then I ended up needing glasses and had them mainly just for class, and then it expanded to every day, 90% of the time.
Do you wish you had done the surgery earlier?
Yes and no. Because I had such a good experience with it, yes. But at the same time, I maybe still growing a little bit, didn't want to test it with my eyes, so I think it's worked out in its favor in general, timing of it.
And that's one other thing that Dr. Popilski is helpful with, because we do require that patients have a stable glasses prescription before considering surgery, since we don't want to do this every 2 or 3 years, and that's why we don't do surgery on teenagers or really young adults, because we want to make sure your vision is stabilized before we program the laser with your prescription. We have to make sure that, if we're going to go in and do surgery and give you the best result, and we want it to last your lifetime, that we do allow enough stability time to occur so that we have good information.
Yep.
So when you were pitching and the catcher was giving you signals, did you have to were you able to see them, or did he have to do something special to let you know?
So when I had glasses, 90% of the time with lights, when the lights were out, because they're not big league lights, it was dull, and I had to do touch signs for that. And then a few times this year, because the lights were a little tough, I could still probably get with the fingers, but we want to get the right sign, we don't want to cross up each other, get someone hurt, so I went to touch this a few times, but overall, LASIK was great. I didn't have to worry about that.
Excellent. Great, well, thank you for joining us today, Jared. I really appreciate you coming down and spending time with us here on Ask Dr. Furlong Facebook Live. If any other questions come in after our live segment, I'll be happy to address those, so please submit those if you'd like a question answered. And we look forward to seeing you on our next version of Ask Dr. Furlong, and good luck to you in Wisconsin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job, man.
That was good.
Just talking.
Just talking. And you can get all your friends to check it out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. We haven't had
Appreciate it.
anybody like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you for making the time for us.
Yeah.
So what are your off-season plans?
Right
We
now,
should have asked him that.
just trying.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking he's probably got to maintain his.
Just trying to find work, and then I'm actually taking probably till middle of December off from throwing,
Okay.
just to give the shoulder,
Yeah.
arm in general, just a break.
Yeah.
But workouts, I'm probably gonna push another month before
Yeah.
I really start going hard on workouts, just to let
Yeah.
the body recuperate
Yeah.
and just try and just gradually get back.
And then do they help you find a place out there and?
It looks like I'll have a host family there.
Oh, nice.
Which will be huge, saving money in general, considering, I mean, the pay is a huge increase from where I was at
Yeah,
in San
Right.
Rafael, but it's still not a lot,
Right.
and it's only
right.
gonna.
It's
do
cheaper
some-
there though.
And
It is
where's,
cheaper.
it's cheaper there, and where's
That'll be
Franklin?
nice. I think it's, I didn't
That's
actually
right
pay
near
attention.
Milwaukee,
And I
right?
think it's like an hour or less
Oh, okay.
outside of Milwaukee. I wanna say west, but I really don't know.
And how far is the league go, like how far will you have to
So
travel?
American Association's from Winnipeg
Oh, great.
down to Texas. I don't know
Oh.
how the league's gonna, because I think there's a new league forming in
Okay.
Texas. It might be a Texas league.
So
I'm
you,
not
you
sure.
might be going into Canada and playing and all that? So-
Mhm.
Oh, wow,
For,
cool.
yeah,
Cool.
a couple games.
Excellent.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, good luck to you, man. And again,
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate you coming
Yeah.
out. Thanks.
Thank you so much, that
Of
was
course.
great. Awesome.